Do be careful, Miss Bennett. There are zombies in the woods.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez. It's time to review another movie. This time it is the latest movie to star Lily James. It's based off a book, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. So we're adding zombies into the mix. You know Pride and Prejudice? I've never seen Pride and Prejudice. I know there's been parodies of it. There's been many things of it, and I respect the old tell, man. I don't think I could read the old tell, nor watch the old tell. I just don't have that sort of just brain span. I mean, you gotta be really wide-spanned to end up sitting down and watching, oh, he loves me, all that sort of stuff. I can't do that. Probably like a 5-hour movie, I don't know. I just can't go on with that, man. But when you add zombies to the mix, and you add Lily James, you have me in there, man. Now, of course, has Matt Smith as well. The Doctor. Doctor's in there, man. I've never seen actually an episode of Matt Smith as the Doctor, but heard he's good. It's directed by Burr Steers. Has estimated budget of $28 million. So, you know, my expectations before going into this movie, and this is a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil nothing. I'm just going to give you the pros, give you the cons, and tell you whether or not you should go check out this movie in theaters, or whether you're watching this down the road, whether you should check it out on rental or just skip it. Maybe you don't need to see it. Maybe you should. I don't know. I'm about to tell you guys. So, really, what I would say my expectations was I heard there's a little bad buzz about the film. You know, I heard it really wasn't the best. And walking into there, I was like, there's two things that are on my mind. Two things. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. Either boys, girls, men, women. I ain't gonna lie to you. The two things that were on my mind. First off, Lily James. Second off, Lily James boobs. Those were the two things that were on my mind. Those are the only reasons that got me into that theater. That one like scene where she's boom, and then you see it just, yeah, that's the one thing that was like, I gotta see this movie. And do I regret it? Well, let's find out. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is my non-spoiler review for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I will say that the zombies have a very nice design to them, man. You know, nowadays people think, alright, you either have to have the Walking Dead sort of style, which is a fantastic style. You really can't beat the Walking Dead nowadays. I mean, back then they're fantastic artwork. I mean, it just keeps on evolving through time. But, you know, how much can you make zombies? You know, there's certain sort of zombies. And here, you either have them like half face blown off and they're still talking human-like, and they're weird sort of zombies, you know. I mean, you either transform after you eat like a full human brain or something. So the way that they're designed and there's snot running down them, some of it's CGI, some of it's practical effects. But the things that are practical effects, you could tell which is practical and really what's kind of CGI. But I will say that the regular practical effects of the zombies, the way that they look, perfect, man. It wasn't bad. You know, I actually did enjoy the way that the suits they were wearing, the makeup, all of that was really fun. They were scary at times, man. There's a few dark shots in there where the lighting's dim and everything. There's zombies in the distance. Those were the real scary parts there. Not scary but really chilling moments, like the way they look. I gotta give it up to the makeup people at the department, man. Awesome. I wouldn't consider this movie a horror. I think it's actually considered a comedy. But if you would consider it a horror vibe in here, the music would count because it has that not like Jaws sort of thing, but it has that build up there. Jaws did it way better. But of course, there's that sort of theme of music there. When the zombies appear, I mean, the music blasts out loud, man. It literally, there's a lot of, not jump scares, but a lot of boom. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's like someone's talking, headshot, boom. You didn't know it was coming. There's a lot of that. Let me just tell you that much. I won't tell you where, but a bunch of boom. That's a lot of booms in there, man. So the sound and the sound editing and everything, I thought that was really, really well done, man. I think that sound right there, and it made me pop up a few times. It really did. There was like 5 people in the theater, man. But I literally popped up a few times because I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, keep it cool, keep it cool. Don't let people think you're, you know, don't let them think you're better than this. Keep it cool. I literally was like, shit, I hope they didn't think I got scared or some shit. I did. but, the sound editing, really good. And probably the best character in here would have to be Matt Smith. He's the comedic relief of the movie, and very well, he's sort of that douchey sort of guy where, of course it was back then, different time, obviously zombies aren't real, but there was way different time where, the women were holding things and the guys were just walking around, but the way that Matt Smith, it was very, very different time, but Matt Smith for sure, I enjoyed his character a lot. I enjoyed the dialogue he was given. Oh, the fairest maiden might be here in this room. I mean, it really was very well done. And he added so much comedy. Like, every scene he was in, he always did a joke. He always was just so, come along now. Come along. He was just so like, come on, let's go. He was never like, let's just stay still. He was always moving. He was always moving around, always energetic. That's what I liked about Matt Smith, man. So I don't get to see him in a lot of movies. Terminator Genesis, he was barely in there for maybe, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at most. I mean, he was gone instantly like that. In here, we got to see him shine a little bit more. So that really, really gave me some more scope for Matt Smith. There are a few action scenes that really worked for me, man. Some of the action scenes do work, some do not. There are some, sword combat that actually does work, and then some do not. Some mix well. Some hand-to-hand combat was really well done, really well directed at times as well. But there are a few things where I didn't like of the action. Don't want to go into detail. But the action, there are a few, just like I said, like the sword combat and everything. Some nice things there. And there's, of course, a few funny moments that the cast brings along that, other than Matt Smith is the main comedic relief. But other than that, you have a few little comedic things they try to throw in there, and it works sometimes. Little few giggles, not many giggles, but you'll have a few giggles throughout the movie. And one last thing for the pros, the ending of the movie. I won't say what it is. Make sure you stay after the first little credits, like the boom, 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 after 15 seconds. They're going to show something right there. Not for a sequel, but just kind of showing you how it ends. And let me tell you, that ending made me more excited. I was like, why wasn't this the movie that I was watching? Why wasn't this the whole freaking hour and a half that I was watching, man? So really disappointed by that, honestly. Now you're about to find out in the cons. Now, 2 things that really pissed me off after leaving the theater. There are a lot of predictable twists. You could predict this stuff. I never read the book, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I never read the book. I never even tried. So I don't know nothing about this going in, man. And it's a predictable twist. It's a really predictable plot at times. Now, there are a few twists that I didn't, oh my god, like that. Like, really? This whole building filled? Like, there are a few things, but there is a predictable twist that I found in a certain character where I was like, I knew it the whole damn time. I knew you were that person. I knew you were this thing. And also, as well, it's obvious who the villain is right when the person gets introduced. So that's sort of the thing where I was like, am I just too smart? Or do I just catch on real quick? And some people just didn't catch on. It's obvious who the villain is, even though they haven't shown they're the villain. Lena Headey's in here, man. Cersei from Game of Thrones. She's a good actress. She's not bad. I mean, she's a good actress, but I love her in Game of Thrones, man. Game of Thrones is a badass show, but her being in here is just so random. It really is. Like, does she has to be in every freaking medieval movie? Does she really have to be? Can she stop being in sort of these movies and medieval movies and everything? I'm really tired of her doing that. And as well as the character she plays, she's so random because she comes into the story and she has an eye patch and she's like, Wah! She's like that. And then she comes into the story and then it's just kind of just random. Like she's the grandmother or something of some character or something like that, or the aunt. And it's sort of just like the story goes on, but she's never really, I mean, she's just kind of there. She's just randomly there. You could have picked any other damn actress, but you picked Lena Headey. Like, really? Why? I have no idea why they did that. But it's just a random character she plays. Which I'm not saying she's not a badass in here, but it's just so random because the way that they introduced her was just so quick. And then right when they show her, it's kind of like you just don't care for her character whatsoever. You don't know whether she's good or bad because she is kind of bad, but she's kind of good. You just don't get really a vibe for her character. And last but not least, this movie I hate to say, I kind of love to say, but it's true. This movie is boring and slow at times. Even it's it's forgettable. It's been 5 or 6 days since I've seen this movie, and I've technically already forgotten most of the movie. It's not memorable at times. I mean, some of the action scenes, some of the characters, some things, but most of it is just kind of easily erases from that. It didn't engrave nothing in my head. Like where in a few months I'm gonna be like, guys, remember that Pride and Prejudice and Zombies? What was that? Like, no one would know anything about it, man. It's just, it was there, and then it kind of just disappeared. It fizzled away. It didn't make its money back. It just failed at the box office. It is slow, and not just Pride and Prejudice, but even the zombies sometimes, they just don't, some of the action scenes, but then again, I wouldn't really consider it a zombie movie most of the time. It just is slow, boring. You're not going to find yourself much entertainment if you see it in the theater. That's why I'm saying go watch it on rental. It's worth watching, yes it is, but on rental. I'm going to give this movie, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, a 5.5 out of a 10. It's watchable, man. It's right there on the half mark, 5.5 out of a 10. Is it worth watching ever? Yeah. In theaters? No. DVD rental, Blu-ray rental? For sure Blu-ray, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope all of you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry if I was a little off today. I'm sick. Not going to go into much detail, but let's just say I sneeze blood. My heartbeat's beating really fast. I'm swallowing blood. Have massive headaches. Also, I have 101 fever while I'm actually doing this. So, I'm burning up real bad. So thank you guys so much for, I just hope you enjoyed the review. You really like the channel, want to see more of my reviews, hit that subscribe button, man. Really would appreciate it. Hit that like on my Facebook page down below. Really appreciate it. Check it out, man. Always do little updates every now and then, sort of mostly video-wise. But we'll do some updates every now and then. Thank you guys. More reviews coming this week, man. Got movies like The Choice. Deadpool should be up right now while you're watching this. And Zoolander 2, How to Be Single, Race, The Witch. Much, much more coming week after week after week. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye-bye.